Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to ask you to please stand. At this time, I will direct everyone's attention to the flag in the front of the church. We ask you now to stand united as we honor the country with the national anthem. Please note that while typically we remove our head coverings, if it is academic regalia, such as your graduation caps, it may remain on during the playing of our anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Salutations and greetings, everyone. My name is Dr. Barry T. Lease. I am the president and CEO of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. And once again, it is my distinct honor to serve today as the presiding officer for the 172nd Commencement exercises of the Pittsburgh Institute, which includes students from both our campus and online programs. Before I begin my remarks, and there's so many thank yous that have to go out when an event like this is put together. So many people do so many things. I want to first begin, so that if someone is sitting at home and might want to join in, with the magic of technology and the hard work of Miss Chelsea Cush, one of our full-time faculty members and one of our social media coordinators specializing in our TikTok. We are live streaming this event today. Miss Cush, thank you so much. She's sitting there in the front. We give her a round of applause. Appreciate that. So if someone at home wants to be part of today and can't be here, let them know we are live streaming, and we really appreciate Ms. Cush's hard work to get us that opportunity to do so. Also, stay connected to our TikTok social media. She posts a lot of fun stuff, sometimes funny, sometimes advocacy points, and sometimes, well, just making fun of me, Mike, and Nick Ricci, who really know nothing about Pokemon. Kind of an inside joke, but if you watched our TikTok, you would see we know nothing about that game. So I know I speak for the chairman of the board at PIMS, Mr. James Pinkerton, who unfortunately cannot be here today, but he sends his best regards to all of the graduates. I know I speak for all of the board members. Some are here, some are unable to be here. our faculty, our staff, our administrators, and of course, that wonderful little ball of fur that you saw lead us down the aisle. And you want to bring Winifred over, so in case you didn't meet her, there she is, Winifred Valentine, getting ready to celebrate her first birthday, by the way. She is number 2 in command at the PIMS Institute, and she is, in all seriousness, our therapy dog in training, and brings a lot of joy and a servant's heart to our institution. So we thank you. I also want to give a shout out. I see some of you out there today. Recognize our alumni. If you're an alumni of the school, why don't you stand, be recognized? And I see a couple of you out there. Stand up. You made it happen for us. You're part of the PIMS family, so. The thank yous continue. And now a real important one, graduates. As I did on your first day of orientation, let me begin today for thanking you for choosing PIMS for your funeral service education. Thank you for allowing us the privilege of not just providing an education, but taking the mission of nurturing and fortifying those servants' hearts that you brought us. We thank you sincerely. It's an honor and a privilege every graduation for us to stand in front of you and get ready to see what the great, cool things you're going to be doing. Thank you. As you chose PIMS, there's a few other thank yous I need to give shout out here too. Everybody in this profession needs a support system. Everybody needs one. You know, quick story. One of our online students who's came in to do some embalming, he came in to tell me, he said, Dr. Lease, I want to talk to you for a second. He said, you know, I was thinking of coming to PIMS, but I also was looking at another school at the University of Minnesota, which has a wonderful program. And he went to both the places, and he ended up telling the program director, me up at UMin, hey, I'm going to go to PIMS, but thanks. And the program director, in really showing servants' hearts and what we do, the spirit of this profession, looked at this man and he said, you're going to get a great education there. I have great respect for Dr. Lease and his team. They're going to make you great. But will you do one thing for me? Will you let me, this is a rival program director, be part of your support team? And I was touched by that. I said, I have to share that story. I don't want to ramble on. I know, we're like, okay, get to the big stuff here. But what is that all about? That's the spirit of unity right there. Right there. And so today, bring it in-house, and we thank, of course, all of the faculty, the staff, the administration, that as Dr. LeBrant from University of Minnesota said, will give you an education second to none. PIMS faculty, staff, and would you please stand and let our graduates and everybody here recognize you for the amazing job you've done. There's another group of people that you don't get to see every day. And some of them are here representing, they are the members of our PIMS Board of Directors who, they provide the strategic resources, set the vision and the values and the mission for our institution to be not just good, but great. And 3 of them are here today. I'd like to recognize them. They are Mr. Kevin Dieterle, the treasurer of our board, Ms. Andrea Egbert, who just joined the board this past August, and Ms. Chandra Law. The 3 of them are here today. Please stand and be recognized. Many of you do not know that we hold consortium partnerships with Point Park University, Gannon University, Thiel College, Penn West University, and Youngstown State University. Well, some of our graduates today are sharing a kind of double graduation today, as they finished our program, and these consortiums recognize our education, finish them off, and bestow a bachelor's degree. And today, in-house, we have Dr. Mark Marnich from Point Park University. Last but never least, I want to especially recognize Dr. Joseph A. Marcellia, who served as our Dean of Faculty and Students for many years, now enjoys his position in retirement, traveling, representing the school at conventions, and he has been recognized as our Dean Emeritus. Dr. Joe, we can't do a graduation without you. And also, Calvary Episcopal for their hospitality and extending the invitation to us to continue to be able to use this magnificent facility. Dr. Alan Lewis, the organist today, for playing the services. It really, like I said, a lot of thank yous that got to go out, and it just can't happen with all these people. So thank you for allowing me to thank everybody. I have just a few brief remarks. Graduates, today is still your day. It is your day. As your history books of life are lived out and written each day, this ceremony is important as a rite of passage that should be celebrated and enjoyed. So live in the moment today, have some fun, and here comes another inside joke. No more than 2 martinis. Don't forget that story, okay? You try to do more than 2, you're not gonna be feeling good, okay? I'm a martini aficionado, in case you didn't want to make some good martini. Graduates, though, after all the pomp and circumstance is done, not to be a doom and gloomer, but some would say real life begins when he agrees. And you start your career in funeral service, and I know that our alumni that have been practicing in the field, those who are funeral directors today, will tell you something that I know all of you, something you already know. And that is your chosen career is not going to be easy. You are the tow truck driver. You are called when nobody wants to make that call. But let me give you something to hold on to during those tough times, okay? Because there's going to be points in time that throughout your career, or even as you came to school here, somebody might have asked you, they said, hey, what do you do for a living? And you responded, hopefully, and you will continue to respond proudly, I'm a funeral service professional. I transition people from presence to memory. And how many times are you going to hear, wow, that takes a special person? Well, I want you to know something, graduates. It does take a special person. That statement is 1,000,000% correct. You are special people, and what makes you special is something that I refer to it, and refer to it, and I refer to it. It's your servant's heart, that miraculous heart that drew you to this vocation, drew you to the calling of funeral service. And with that thought, graduates, I want to conclude my remarks with this notion. We all know that in your future, there are going to be days that you just wonder what you're doing here. There are going to be days that are asking you to give more than you can give. The long hours, the raw emotional energy, the challenging situations, and sometimes, unfortunately, the family discord challenge even the biggest servant's heart. You may wonder, is this really my career? It seems so much more fun at graduation. But graduates, as I bring my opening remarks to a conclusion, let me give you some advice. And you may laugh at this. When you have those minutes, I want you, as especially, I know the DE students, you didn't get to appreciate her as much, but we couldn't ship her out to you. But the campus students in particular in this group, I want you to do something. Ask yourself, what would Winnie do? What would Winnie do? When you are doubting if you should be doing this, ask yourself, what would Winnie do? Now, you may find that funny. What would a dog do, right? What does a dog know? Well, let me tell you what she knows. If you go to the PIMS website, right on our landing page, you see her picture. And if she could speak, unlike the little barking, she would say to you, follow your servant's heart and let compassion guide your career. All that little animal knows, and all she will know through her entire career, is comfort and care and bring her servant's heart to you. It's a compassionate disposition that I hope on those days you look at it and go, not, I don't want to do this anymore. What would Winnie do? If you embrace those two simple yet eloquent messages, I promise you, to quote the words of the funeral service oath that you will say today, you will enjoy honor in your life and in your profession and be respected by all for all time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me the privilege to address this commencement. At this time, I welcome to the podium our clinical care coordinator and full-time faculty member, Ms. Katelynn Schooley, who will offer a few brief remarks to the class and then introduce today's keynote speaker. Ms. Schooley.
Thank you, Dr. Lease. Thank you, Dr. Lease, for the honor of introducing our keynote speaker today. But first, I have a few short words for our graduates. Graduates, I want to take a moment to congratulate all of you. As you step into this field, remember that your role extends far beyond technical expertise. You will be the source of comfort, guidance, and dignity for families at some of the most difficult moments in their life. This is both a privilege and a great responsibility. You will face challenges, but always remember you have the tools and the knowledge to persevere. We are so proud of you and excited to see the impact you make in your communities. You will all do great things. This is just the beginning of a lifelong journey of service, learning, and leadership. Congratulations. Graduates, not long ago, our keynote speaker sat in that same seat that you're sitting in right now. Korynne is a true mentor and leader in this profession. From her PIMS graduation to now, she has excelled. Korynne has held numerous leadership roles, including now serving as the president of both the Western Pennsylvania Funeral Directors Association and the Butler County Funeral Directors Association. Just last week, she was sworn in as the Butler County Coroner. She is a true inspiration to our students. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to welcome Korynne Young as our keynote speaker for the 172nd Commencement Ceremony.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. It is very humbling that 5 years ago, on the 17th, I was in those very seats, anxiously awaiting for it to be May to be completed with my education at PIMS. Little did I know that was just the beginning. 5 years ago brings us to 2020. I went to class one Thursday in March, and we were all asked to go upstairs to have a school-wide meeting. We were told that we have been educated in infectious disease. We take precautionary measures for a reason, and we treat every case as contagious. We were told that our education would not be affected by the coronavirus. 2 days later, we received email notice that classes would be postponed and made virtual. That was just the beginning. My class at our Progress in the PIMS timeline never did return to in-person learning. I have not seen some of my friends in person since that Thursday in March. So take this as my first lesson to all of you. Today is just the beginning of long-term friendships you have made this far. Please take the time to get all of the photos you can and meet the families of all of your friends and celebrate this graduation day. Because of the nature of this industry and the niche program that PIMS provides, these people around you are the ones you'll call at 2 a.m. when you're having trouble embalming. These are the people that you will call knowing that they're closer to someone's place of death than you are and you need their help. Please be there for one another. The friendships and professional relationships that you will make here will be so valuable to you in whatever career path you may take. The extraordinary men and women serving as faculty at this institution will always have your back. The year of 2020 brought many challenges to us all, personally, to our family, to our friends, to our businesses, and to our industry. The pandemic reshaped how we work, how people grieve, and how we value time. Graduating during this time and entering the field amidst a global pandemic has proven its challenges. But remember, that was just the beginning. I first feel compelled to give special recognition to those here today working towards a family legacy. Is there anyone graduating today that has family, parents, or friends in the funeral business? Anybody? I know we are few and far between anymore, but I am from a small rural community in northern Butler County, living in the funeral home that my great-grandfather established. I often think about if I could ever talk to him. Did he ever think that his 3 sons, 2 grandsons, 2 great-granddaughters, 1 great-grandson, and 2 great-great-granddaughters would become funeral directors? For him, 1896 was just the beginning. It is an honor to continue my family legacy to funeral service in my hometown. When asked about becoming a funeral director, I always say, I do not know what else I would do. I always knew I would become a funeral director someday. I had an experience as a child where I learned the dedication my family had towards service. Some of you working in this industry may have already learned that, and hopefully some of you learn that very, very soon. I was about 8 years old, and it was my birthday. With great excitement, we had a little party planned that evening, and the phone rang, death call. Dad cannot go to the party. He missed a lot of events because of the funeral home. I was upset, but I was used to it. After getting to my grandma's to enjoy some cake and ice cream, I opened my presents, and I absolutely loved what my dad got me. I could not wait to get home and thank him, so I had to call him right away. I get my grandma's phone, I dial our phone number, our home phone number, which is our business number, called my dad, and the answering service answered. I said, oh, hi, it's Korynne. I'm looking to talk to my dad. They said, sorry, sweetie, he can't talk right now. He's embalming. That was it. I remember I started crying. I just wanted to say thank you. But I understood in that moment that I will wait. He has important work he's doing right now. He's taking care of someone who died. His service to families, his dedication to his community, I have learned to admire. I get to thank him now for everything he's taught me. You will all hopefully have a key moment to understand what true, dedicated lifestyle this profession is. For me, I was 8 years old, and that was just the beginning of my dedication to funeral service. In 2021, I became licensed, working alongside my dad daily, including all of those late nights and early mornings. Looking back, those are the times I think I've learned the most. When the hustle of the world slows and the phone calls and the emails haven't started yet, I cherish that time. Whether it's in a dark, quiet ride on a transfer, or back home in the embalming room, or sitting at my computer trying to catch up on the paperwork. Before going back to sleep for a little while. It was then, in the middle of the night, that I was alone in the embalming room for the first time. Alone, left to embalm someone I knew without the guidance from anyone else. Those middle of the night moments in the future may come sooner than later. You are left to simply figure it out on your own. But today, we're celebrating you because you have the tools and the skills to be able to do this. Today is just the beginning of learning this trade and crafting it as your own. In my short journey so far as a licensed funeral director, I have found that there are some lessons you cannot learn from books, you cannot learn from PIMS. You just have to do it. The most important, yet hardest lesson is quite literally how to serve the families that have called upon your funeral home to care for their loved one. How do you deal with the drama? How do you work within their budget? How do you communicate with them when they are in such a state of shock they can't even sign their name? From the first call to final disposition, I urge you all to dedicate more of yourself to the families you serve. Listen to them. If you're meeting them at the removal, they're talking, you need to listen. If there's 12 people that came to that arrangement conference, they all have something to say. You need to listen. This isn't just your job, the arrangements, the transfers, the embalming. This is just the beginning of career-long relationships. You'll run into them at the grocery store a few months later, and they'll thank you. You'll see someone else at the local high school football game, and they will tell you what a great job you did. Those moments are what makes the late nights, the difficult embalmings, and the dramatic arrangements worth it. I encourage you all, when you face struggles in this career, even now preparing for the upcoming exams or going for job opportunities, take time for yourself, step back, reevaluate your plan and approach. You can do this. I've written it down in the prep rooms I've worked in. I've said it aloud when I'm feeling down. Talking to Dr. Lease when he graciously asked me to speak today, I contemplated and eventually told him, though at a very busy start to my career, I can do this. Now that little saying helped me push through the year of 2025. For you all, you spent last year at PIMS probably. 2025 for me, well, that was just the beginning of where I'm at today. In January of 2025, I was a funeral director at home, helping out my cousin's funeral home here in Pittsburgh. I was working casual hours as a deputy in the Butler County Coroner's Office, doing administrative tasks and going on calls as needed. Nearing the end of January, I got word that my cousin Billy, who served as county coroner since 2001, would not be running for re-election. In a spur-of-the-moment decision, I stated that I would be running for the office after getting this news from a colleague in the office who also would be campaigning. I shed a few tears of shock of what I just signed up for, what I just told my competitor, and I told my immediate family and continued about my day. That was truly just the beginning. What stemmed from that day and the weeks following was the hardest yet most rewarding year of my life. I embarked on my political journey, contributing to a historical election in the county of Butler, all while practicing as a funeral director and maintaining my duties in the coroner's office. Setting out for 3 weeks to get petitions signed, being told that 250 signatures was the requirement, but submitting over 1,200, that's just the beginning. attending numerous events, shaking hundreds of hands, and speaking about how I'm the best candidate for county coroner beside two great gentlemen advocating for the same thing, springtime was a wild ride. Yard signs went up, larger signs went up, and the support and donations from many gracious friends were sent to me. I would not be here today without the support of so many generous people. May 20th, 2025 was the day that I prepared for, my family, my friends, and all my supporters were waiting for. Election day. In ways, it felt like a funeral. Everything was set, we had deadlines and timeframes to meet, there was a lot of moving parts, and based off a lot of variables, the day could go good or the day could go bad. The evening was spent with my family and close friends, and that evening I got news that I won the Republican nomination for county coroner. In the days following, the Election Bureau called me after they calculated write-in totals, and I received the most Democratic write-ins, enough to qualify to be on the fall ballot dual parties. There were afternoons in that election cycle that I wanted a break, but I had discussion points to review for that evening. There were nights that I wanted a longer night of sleep after being at an event, but the phone would ring and my funeral home got a death call. There were mornings that I needed a break, but I had to get up and distribute yard signs across the county. Through it all, it was the constant reminder that I can do this that got me through. Reality soon set in that with the May results in both party nominations, I would become Butler's next county coroner, barring no county-wide write-in campaign in November. I began jotting down notes and ideas. I started to research about the role historically, and I offered to take calls and respond to death scenes more to get as much experience as possible. I enjoyed my last summer not on call, and slowly I still continue to evaluate my priorities in life to better focus on my careers. Election energy ramped up as soon as the weather started getting cooler in the fall, and I began attending events and promoting my campaign to encourage residents to vote on November 4th. Though I was the only name listed on the ballot for county coroner, I showed up November 4th. I traveled over 200 miles, never leaving Butler County and only hitting the southern half. I wanted to visit voters in the different municipalities. People questioned me, why was I devoting so much time and energy into a November election and I'm the only name there? But after voters in May chose me to become the next county coroner and be of service to families in that county, I wanted to be present and I wanted to thank them for what they have chosen for me. With an exceptional 43% voter turnout and over 51,000 votes, I was named coroner-elect of Butler County. 1 week ago, I took an oath. I took an oath to serve Butler County as an elected official chosen by the people. This past Monday was my first official day of work as county coroner. I have had a difficult week. I am not afraid to say it, and you should never be afraid to admit it either. I've had to ask for help, something stubborn old funeral directors that have taught me sometimes can't quite explain. This week, the new responsibilities of the office have set in. The first coroner calls of 2026 have been investigated, and I personally have experienced a loss. My dear cousin Footsie passed away this week, a man who mentored me as a funeral director since beginning my education here in 2018. Though through times of trouble, I am honored that I was chosen to care for decedents in Butler County and serve their families by determining the cause and manner of death. I am joyously blessed to continue my journey of service as a fourth-generation funeral director and also as a young to hold the office of Butler County Coroner following my Uncle Digger from 1970 to 2000 and my cousin Billy from 2001 to 2025. In short, I would like to thank my family, friends, and supporters who in large ways and even in the simplest ways took time out of their year to support me and thank my Lord and Savior, whose never-ending presence has carried me. If anyone would have asked me 5 years ago, the same time I was sitting on this side in that pew, if I would ever dream to be county coroner, I would have probably chuckled and said no. I never thought that this would be a part of my journey, but with a lot of faith in myself that I can do this, and a lot of help from my friends, I am here today. I am here today, and guess what? This is just the beginning. Congratulations, graduates. You can do this.
Korynne, I'm going to ask you to be recognized for a moment. Ms. Schooley will take you in front of the dais. Ms. Schooley is presenting you with a plaque from your PIMS family. The plaque that Ms. Schooley is presenting to you bears the inscription as follows: "The expert in anything was once a beginner." Korynne Young, in honor and appreciation for your dedicated commitment to the funeral service profession, as well as your recent election to be the Butler County Coroner, you have made us PIMS proud. And today, we honor you as the keynote speaker, delivering the eloquent, inspirational message, "This is just the beginning." To our graduates and all of those in attendance at the 172nd Commencement exercises of Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science, presented on this day, the 9th of January, 2026. Congratulations on your election, Korynne. Thank you for making us PIMS proud. Did someone say something about spreadsheets? I'm sorry, folks in attendance. These are little inside jokes. Your family member will explain it to you. But in regards to that, at this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Nicholas Ricci, a full-time faculty member, to lead everyone in the funeral service oath. Mr. Ricci.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again to our graduation ceremony this afternoon. For those of you that do not know me, or distance education family members who have not heard my voice in the video lectures that your family members watch, my name is Mr. Nicholas Ricci. I am a faculty member here at PIMS, and I have the true honor to administer the funeral service oath today. Now, as you all heard a couple times, follow your servant's heart has become a common theme that's introduced to our students during their time at PIMS. It has almost organically become a slogan or motto used daily in the halls at PIMS and in the classrooms. These words are even the first thing that our students see when they enter our care center at the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. The servant's heart concept is very similar to a concept that was a core value of St. John Paul II during his time as Pope of the Catholic Church. He referred to it in a slightly different way, but similar, as the ideal of a gift of self. A famous quote from St. John Paul II summarizes this concept: "The more you give of yourself, the more you will find yourself." Ironically, another core value of St. John Paul II was the importance of taking oaths and keeping them. While Pope St. John Paul II commissioned the creation of a book called the Catechism of the Catholic Church. It states, a person commits perjury when they make a promise under oath with no intention of keeping it, or when after promising an oath, they do not keep it. Essentially, that would sever your servant's heart. No oath that one gives should ever be taken lightly. An oath is a solemn and formal calling upon God to witness the truth of what one says, an attestation of the sincerity of what one intends to do, a ceremonial testimony of the invoidability of one's words. As you recite this oath, I hope that you each burn these words into your servant's heart and make them your own core values as you live out the gift of self every day in this profession. At this time, I would ask our graduates to please stand. I also invite our President and CEO, Dr. Barry Lease, to don the PIMS mace at attention while we administer this oath as one PIMS community. I also invite any licensed funeral directors here today to renew your oath along with our graduates. I would ask all who are taking the oath or renewing their oath to please stand, raise your right hand, and repeat after me the words that can be found in your program. I do solemnly swear by that which I hold most sacred. I do solemnly swear by that which I hold most sacred. That I shall be loyal to the funeral service profession and just and generous to its members. That I shall be loyal to the funeral service profession and just and generous to its members. That I shall lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor. That into whatsoever house I shall enter, it shall be for the benefit and comfort of those bereaved. That I shall not let the constant relationship and familiarity with death give me cause to yield to carelessness. Or to violate any obligation to society or to the dignity of our profession. That I shall abstain from every voluntary act of misconduct and corruption. That I shall obey the civil laws. That I shall not divulge professional confidences. And that I shall be faithful to those who have placed their trust in me. While I continue to keep this oath unviolated, may it be granted to me to enjoy honor in my life and in my profession. And may I be respected by all people for all time. Thank you. You may now be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Ricci. At this time, we invite to the podium our Dean of Faculty and Students, Dean Michael Burns, to present the class of the 172nd Commencement exercises. Dean Burns.
kind of thought Dr. Lease might give a Bigfoot or a milk joke, but that's okay. This is my opportunity to also to say a few brief words to you. I can tell you all the things you already know. Follow your dreams, work hard, never stop learning, and that's all true, but you're already doing that. What I really want to talk to you about is trust. In a short time, complete strangers are going to hand you the worst day of their lives. They will trust you with their mother, their child, their spouse, their memories, and their grief. They won't remember your GPA. They won't ask you when you finished in the class. They won't care about your RA lab or how many bodies you completed in the care center. But they will remember how you made them feel. Will you remember to listen closely? Will you explain things without rushing? Will you treat them like a person and not just a case number? At PIMS, we teach you the law, the art, the responsibility of this profession. But what makes a funeral profession is just what you already know. You're going to show up. This profession is not perfection. It's about presence. You will be tired. You'll work long hours. You will answer the phone when no one else wants to. You will have way too much coffee like you did in the last year here at school. But I want you to hear this. What you do matters. You will stand in rooms where words fail. And simply by being calm, competent, and compassionate, you'll bring order to chaos and dignity to loss. And when you make mistakes, and you will, own them, learn from them, and keep going. That is not failure, that is our professionalism. This class has already shown resilience, accountability, and heart. These are things that are not found in the textbook. Those are things we saw in the lab, the care center, in the classroom, whether in the building or online, and how you treated one another. Today isn't the end. Like Ms. Korynne said, today's the beginning. Today is about granting you permission. Permission to serve families with dignity, permission to represent the profession with pride, and permission to carry the standards of PIMS into funeral homes, communities, and lives that need you. We are proud of you. Your families are proud of you. And soon, a family you've never met before will be grateful that you chose this path. Congratulations. Now, if I may have Dr. Lease and Ms. Salachko, please step forward. I now have the pleasure of presenting the class to come forward for their diplomas and certificates. For the diploma in embalming and funeral directing, Isabel D. Bailey. For the Associate in Specialized Technology degree, for the Associate in Specialized Business degree in Funeral Service Management, Jordan F. Santafonte. Sherelle Valentine. Now for the Associate in Specialized Technology degree in Funeral Service Arts and Sciences, Angela Louise Adams. Allison Nicole Andrulonis. Christopher Bobo. Danielle Boyce. Jessica Rose Burnett. Christy Davis Hall. Gianna T. DeFelice. Nathaniel James Fall. Brianna Friends. Brianna Gonzalez. Madison Elaine Graham. Elise Jamila Kazi. Grace Elizabeth Kozak. Haley Catherine Lahr. Hannah McDermott. Michael Napolitano. Ian Joseph Rosenberg. Belle Sipple. Abby Jane Katelynn Smith. Lindsay DeGia Vaughter. Today we are also proud to recognize several students who will be receiving their bachelor's degree through a special consortium program with our partner colleges and universities. These students have devoted 3 years to the study at these institutions and have completed their final year here at PIMS, bringing their academic journey to a successful conclusion. Unfortunately, the director of Mortuary Science Program at Gannon University could not be with us, so I'm going to ask Dr. Lease to please step forward. The following student will be receiving their Bachelor of Science in Mortuary Science from Gannon University, Madison Graham. Youngstown State University could not be with us either today, but a Bachelor of Science in Allied Health degree is being awarded to Christy Davis Hall. I have Dr. Mark Marnich, Professor of Mathematics and Director of the Mortuary Science Program at Point Park University. Please step forward. The following students will be receiving their Bachelor of Science funeral service from Point Park. Gianna DeFelice, and Grace Kozak. At this time, I ask all students receiving a diploma, an associate degree, or a bachelor's degree to please rise. At this time, you are invited to move your tassels from the right side to the left side of your cap, symbolizing the official conference of this degree. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, and distinguished guests, it is my profound honor and privilege to present to you the graduates of the 172nd Commencement of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. You may be seated. I also have the honor today of announcing some winners of some awards that we have to present. The first one is the Memorial Award. Be it known that this Memorial Award was established to commemorate the contributions made by the alumni, students, and faculty of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science in the service to their country. The campus recipient who has been chosen by his or her classmates as the graduate who, through qualities of leadership, professional conduct, and good citizenship, best characterize their ideals. This Memorial Award is hereby awarded this 9th day of January 2026 to Grace Kozak. This award includes a check for $250 from the PIMS Board of Directors. The next award is the Allegheny County Funeral Directors Award. At this point, I'm going to ask Jesse Turquato and Ashley Larakis, representatives of the Allegheny County Funeral Directors Association, to please step forward. Be it known that this award was established as a distinction of merit in recognition of the impact the individual will have on the funeral profession in the future. Based on the collective judgment of the ACFDA, this honor is awarded to a student whose dedication to the profession reflects the ideals of excellence set forth by this award. On this 9th day of January 2026, the award is hereby granted to Madison Graham. There is also a memorial award for the distance education student. This distance education recipient, who's been chosen by the distance education faculty of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science as the graduate who, through qualities of leadership, professional conduct, and good citizenship, best illustrated their ideals, is hereby awarded this 9th day of January 2026 to Christy Davis Hall. Next award is the Kelco Supply Chemical Restorative Art Award. Michael Berner, representative of the Kelco Company, please step forward to present this award. The Kelco Supply Company Restorative Art Award. Be it known that this award was established to honor exceptional ability, dedication, commitment, and achievement in the disciplines of restorative art and cosmetology. Upon the recommendation of the clinical faculty of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science, and in recognition of distinguished merit in these areas, This award is hereby presented this 9th day of January, 2026 to Allison Andrulonis. The CORE Award. T.J. Roser, Funeral Director and Coroner Liaison from CORE, the Center for Organ Recovery and Education, will please join us in the dais. The Center of Organ Recovery and Education, CORE, has established a Pledge for Life Scholarship Fund and awards its scholarship to one student who's enrolled in the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science, who can demonstrate that they will make an impact in the field of organ, tissue, and cornea recovery. The scholarship is funded through CORE's Partnership Strategies Committee by delegating funds given in memory or in honor of an organ, tissue, or cornea donor or a transplant recipient. With over 123,000 people waiting for a life-saving transplant and many more in need of tissue and corneas, this scholarship will help to develop the professionals who can make a difference in people's lives. It is hereby awarded this 9th day of January 2026 to Grace Kozak. The Ohio Funeral Directors Association Award. I'm going to ask Ms. Andrea Egbert to please step forward, a member of our PIMS Board of Directors, Ohio resident and licensed embalmer funeral director in Ohio, to present the award. Be it known that this award is presented as a symbol of leadership in the field of professional mortuary science education. This grant is intended to support the recipient in furthering their knowledge and expanding learning opportunities throughout the state of Ohio. In recognition of these ideals, this award is hereby presented this 9th day of January, 2026 to Belle Sipple. The Champion Award for Mortuary Science Excellence. If Mr. Paul Bowman, Vice President and General Manager of the Champion Company, will please step forward. Be it known that this award, established as a criteria-based recognition of merit, bears the namesake of a company committed not only to providing state-of-the-art chemicals and products, but also, as expressed in the credo of its expanding encyclopedia, to being dedicated to the furtherance of knowledge and education for the funeral service profession. This award is presented to the student recognized by the science faculty of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science for demonstrating outstanding scholarship, aptitude, attitude, practical skills in the core science components of the curriculum. It is hereby acknowledged of these achievements. This award is hereby presented on this 9th day of January, 2026 to Jordan Santafonte. I'm going to ask Ms. Katelynn Schooley to please step forward to read this award. I'm sorry, she's just going to present the award. The William J. Massimano Memorial Award. Be it known that this award was established to recognize outstanding ability, dedication, commitment, and achievement in the clinical embalming laboratory practicum. Upon the recommendation of the clinical faculty of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science, and in acknowledgement of the recipient's highest standards of decorum, professionalism, and demonstrated skill in the practice of clinical embalming, this award is hereby presented this 9th day of January, 2026 to Allison Andrulonis. This award includes an embalming kit provided by Mr. Wayne Irvine, a graduate of PIMS, who also won this award, and a $500 check presented by the PIMS Board of Directors. The John Riebel Award. Dr. Barry Lease will present this Riebel Award. Be it known that this award was established as a distinction of merit in recognition of the highest level of academic scholastic performance across all branches of the curriculum of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. Based upon the collective judgment of the faculty of PIMS, this honor is awarded to the campus student whose dedication to scholarship reflects the ideals of excellence set forth by this award. On this 9th day of January 2026, the award is hereby presented to Grace Kozak. This award includes a check for $500 from the PIMS Board of Directors. The William and Brenda Spence Award. Mrs. Spence, please step forward. Be it known that this award was established as a distinction of merit in recognition of a first-generation funeral director and resident of Pennsylvania who has demonstrated exceptional dedication to education, service-minded leadership, and a strong commitment to helping others. Acknowledgement of these qualities and in honor of the values presented by this award is hereby presented on this 9th day of January 2026 to Jordan Santafonte. You want to go there? Good night. Okay. This award includes a check from $1,000 from William and Brenda Spence. The Eugene C. Agrodnik Entrepreneurial Award. If Mr. Ricci, you'll please step forward. Be it known that this criteria-based award of merit is presented in honor of Eugene C. Agrodnik, whose passion for education, visionary leadership, and business acumen established the enduring legacy of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science while shaping the future of the funeral service profession. In keeping with his example, this award is presented to the student recognized by the core business faculty of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science as having demonstrated stewardship, scholarship, leadership, and the entrepreneurial spirit with the greatest potential to impact the funeral profession at large. This hereby presented this 9th day of January 2026 to Grace Kozak. This award includes a check for $500 from the PIMS Board of Directors, which is matched by Mr. Agrodnik and his wife, Karen, in the amount of $1,000. Now we have a very special award called the Mu Sigma Award. What I'm going to do is ask the recipients to please step forward first, and then I'll read the description. Please step forward. Christy Davis Hall. Ian Rosenberg. And Grace Kozak. The Mu Sigma Alpha Honorary Society Award. Be it known that the National Association of Colleges of Mortuary Science has established this honorary society to recognize students of mortuary science who've demonstrated outstanding scholarship and have conducted themselves as exemplary citizens of the school. Recipients of this distinction have been carefully selected by the faculty and represent the top 10% of the graduating class. The name of the society, Mu Sigma Alpha, signifies excellence in mortuary science. The symbols engraved on the key reflect the values honored by this award. An open book representing knowledge and wisdom freely available to all. A spray of laurel symbolizing achievement. A lighted lamp representing scholarship. Diligence and perseverance. And the word award denoting the purpose of this distinction. To honor those who have qualified and have been chosen. In addition, this distinction includes a $1,000 recognition check from the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science Board of Directors commemorating this prestigious honor. Cherish this award as a testament to your accomplishments. During your time at PIMS and as a reflection of our confidence that as you enter your profession, you will uphold the high standards and exemplary conduct that have so distinguished you as a student. Thank you very much.
Don't you love drama, you know? So the Rebel Award this year was something that rarely happens, where at the PIMS Institute, 2 people came out with the highest GPA. So in all due respect to you, Grace, you share that award with Ian Rosenberg. This is the good one. That's the check. You'll get yours, Trace. You'll get your diploma, the award sent to you. So a rare occasion that this happens. So thank you. And you don't think Mrs. Alachko is on top of things, huh? Right? Thank you, Mrs. Alachko. At this point, we turn it over to our students, and they will deliver some closing remarks to their peers and to all of our friends and family today. Let's begin with first, speaking from for the campus students, Grace Kozak. The mic is yours.
Good afternoon, graduates, PIMS faculty, honored family members, friends, and distinguished guests. My name is Grace Kozak, and I am deeply honored to speak on behalf of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science at the 172nd Commencement exercise. Today, we gather to honor the individual journey of each student here and to celebrate our first steps into the funeral service profession. This moment is more than a ceremony. It is a milestone which marks dedication, sacrifice, and transformation. It's the celebration of a group of students who walked into PIMS with a shared calling to serve, to comfort and stand beside others in their most vulnerable of moments. For each of us, this path began with the desire to help others during life's most difficult of moments, and today, that commitment defines us. We entered into this profession understanding that it would demand compassion, steadiness, and a deep commitment to serving others. What we may not have fully grasped then, but clearly recognize now, is the profound significance of that responsibility. We are stepping into a field that allows us to offer guidance and comfort on the darkest of days, and we accept that privilege with sincerity and respect. This graduating class has not been defined by numbers or proximity, but by our shared purpose. It brings together students from many places in all walks of life. For some of us, this journey marked a brand new experience, first steps into higher education, adulthood, and a professional responsibility. For others, it was a continuation of an already familiar path shaped by life experience, prior education, and careers. Yet regardless of where we all began, we end here today together. While not all of us met in the same classrooms, we did have the privilege to share some meaningful moments side by side, whether in restorative arts lab, the clinical embalming experience, and at various points along our journey. During those moments, it became clear that despite our diverse backgrounds, we are all united by the same determination to make a meaningful difference in the lives of those in which we serve. That shared commitment defines us today. Our time here at PIMS has shaped us far deeper than textbooks or tests ever could. We learned more than techniques and far more than terminology. We learned how to steady our nerves in the prep room and how to carry ourselves with professionalism and how to offer comfort with quiet confidence. We learned resilience, patience, and the power of empathy. We discovered that funeral service is as much about heart as it is about skill. It is about meeting families in their deepest moments of grief and offering a presence that they can trust and draw strength from. Throughout our time at PIMS, we each underwent a profound transformation. In many ways, our old selves, the ones who hesitated, who were unsure, and who clung to comfort, had to fall away. Funeral service demands selflessness, patience, and a willingness to put others before yourself. In rising to meet that calling, we became new versions of who we once were. Individuals shaped by responsibility, compassion, and a sacred trust. That transformation is not just a part of our training, it is now ingrained in who we are. The profession we are entering is sacred. It asks much of us, our time, our strength, and our compassion, yet it offers something so profoundly meaningful in return. The opportunity to make a lasting difference in someone's life through our guidance and our care. As funeral directors and embalmers, we become caretakers, problem solvers, and steady shoulders for grieving families. What we do matters, even when the effort behind it goes unseen. As we step into this profession, may we bring with us the lessons PIMS has instilled, lessons of dignity, respect, humility, and heart. May we remember the teachers who so kindly pushed us, the classmates who encouraged us, and the moments where we proved to ourselves that we were stronger than we ever knew. Graduates, we've worked hard for this moment. We've grown together, supported one another, and shown that we belong in this field. Today, we celebrate not just our accomplishments, but the meaningful careers which lie ahead. Careers in which we will comfort the broken, honor every life we touch, and serve families with dignity and respect. Congratulations to the graduates of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. May we never forget our time spent here together at PIMS, the many lessons learned, and may we always follow our servant's heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. And now at this time, I'd like to invite Christy Davis Hall to the podium, where she will represent the online PIMS students with some brief closing remarks. Thank you, Christy.
Hello, my name is Christy, and I attended PIMS online. First and foremost, I want to thank the faculty, our families, and our friends for being here with us today as we celebrate this milestone. Your unwavering support has been integral to our success, and we could not have done this without you. So, you actually signed up to do this? I've been asked this question more times than I can count, and like many of you, I didn't arrive here with a clear map or a neat plan. Loss led me here before I even knew where here was. A loss so profound it rewired my chemistry, split my life into two, and reduced everything I thought I knew to ashes. I was searching for meaning in the wreckage, trying to survive the fire. And in the darkest moment, this work found me. It called to my heart and gave me hope when I had none left. The beauty of what we do happens in silence, behind closed doors, without applause, without recognition. It's a necessary job. a sacred job, one that few people want and even fewer can survive. So when someone asks, do you really know what you signed up for? It's a fair question. So let me turn it back to you. Do you really know? Instinctively, we say yes. We know the job description. We know the protocols. We know the training, the education, the long hours, the sleepless nights, the physical exhaustion, the endless cases, the families who lean on us at their most fragile. But what no one can teach you, what no classroom, no manual, no certification can prepare you for, is the weight of grief. And it's heavy. It doesn't just touch you, it reshapes you. It breaks you open and rebuilds you into someone you barely recognize. The wide-eyed apprentice who wanted to change the world fades into memory, replaced by someone forged by tragedy. Grief clings to your bones like smoke. You carry the ashes of other people's worst days inside the same body that we're expected to live our own lives in. It stirs wounds you didn't know were still burning. It pries you open. It costs you sleep, peace, relationships, pieces of yourself you might never fully get back. And loving this work does not make you immune. You can love this calling and still be shattered by it, again and again. There is no secret formula to protect your heart, no training module for how grief and trauma rewire your brain. This work will test you, it will change you, and still, you show up. On the days that feel unbearable, on the days when the weight threatens to pull you under, on the days you're hurting and exhausted and human, you show up anyway. Because as funeral directors, we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. And when you feel yourself faltering, remember why you are here. Remember who you serve, not just the families that are standing in front of you, but the people you've lost along the way, the ones who shaped you, the ones who brought you here. Show up for every family. Be the strength in rooms when strength has been shattered. Show up for the decedent in your care. Offer dignity, respect, and the very best of your skill. Show up for your coworkers. Lean on each other when the burden is too heavy to carry alone. Show up. So what did you sign up for? You signed up for everything you trained for, and so much more. And when the nights are long, when sleep is scarce, when you are emotionally emptied out, remember why you started and don't burn out. Burn brighter. Your compassion matters. Your presence matters. Your heart matters. Yes, you will change. But funeral directors aren't made, they're born. And just like coal under pressure becomes a diamond, the weight you carry can create brilliance. This is your calling. Honor it. Thank you.
Thank you both for just wonderful remarks. And on the spirit of that, you know, as we're coming to the conclusion of this ceremony, we have a few things that we still have to do. But before, if you would permit me this, you know, we talked about the PIMS family. You've heard me say that a couple times. We've heard the servant's heart. We've heard how hard this job is. We've heard so many things today. From the perception sometimes of, you know, the funeral service professional. But if I may do this, and I hope this does not, I hope it is as uplifting as I'm intending it. But right here today, amongst one of our graduates, she is not just a funeral director graduate today. She sits on the other side of the desk, having tragically lost her mom this past week or so. And speaking for Pittsburgh Institute, Jessica Burnett, we offer our prayers, our condolences, our love. You are with the PIMS family, and you have somebody very special that's looking down, smiling. So if I may offer you our condolences. Thank you all for allowing Jessica to have that moment of silence. We appreciate it. Thank you. At this time, it's a tradition that we come to the end of our ceremony, towards the end of our ceremony, by singing America the Beautiful in honor of this great land together. And leading us in song will be Grace Kozak, as played by Dr. Ellen Lewis. Grace, the microphone is yours.
Would you please stand?
Nice job, Grace. Thank you. We may be seated again. One more point of business, and that is the presentation of the Pavlik Inman Mace Bearers Award. And it is my great privilege to announce the recipient of the Stephen Pavlik Robert Inman Mace Bearers Award. Now, before I begin, please know that if you are the student that is the winner of this most prestigious award, we just ask you to kindly remain seated until I call you up to the dais, for it is a moment in which, quite literally or ceremonially, I guess, the seat of power for the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science passes from me to you for a walk down the aisle, but literally to lead your fellow classmates into the profession. So please, we would like to make sure it is that Kodak moment that if you are the winner, it is appropriate. So, the Stephen Pavlik Robert Inman Mace Bearers Award was established by decree of the PIMS Board of Directors as the highest of high honors to be bestowed upon only one student at each commencement exercise who, in the opinion of the faculty, staff, administration, and with the endorsement of the PIMS Board of Directors, is considered to be the best of the best. In the legacy of the two great men bearing the namesake of this most esteemed award, this student has profoundly impacted our institution, serving as the embodiment of the values we hold dear: commitment, compassion, integrity, leadership, scholarly excellence, and a deep servant's heart. The future endeavors in the funeral service profession of this individual, following in the footsteps of the late Mr. Pavlik and Mr. Inman, are certain to be just as distinguished. Accordingly, in recognition of the remarkable standard set by this individual, on behalf of the Institute, I have the privilege of presenting them a medallion, as though similar to the one that I wear, bearing the official school seal. As president of the Institute and the seat of authority, I get the great privilege and honor to bear the official mace coming into the ceremony and all events, but at graduation ceremonies, it's perhaps the highest of high honors. The individual I confer this privilege on will bear the mace out, temporally transferring the power and authority of PIMS to them, and thus allowing that student mace bearer to ceremonially lead the charge for their classmates into the future of funeral service as we conclude this 172nd commencement exercise. So in the moment you've been waiting for, it is with great pride that on this 9th day of January in the year of 2026, this most prestigious award is presented to Grace Elizabeth Kozak. Your dedication and exemplary performance, Grace, have earned you this honor. We celebrate your success today. Now, as we congratulate Grace, and in the spirit of the late Mr. Pavlik and Mr. Inman, who both bestowed generous endowments to the Institute, Grace will, along with the school seal, the school medallion, along with the privilege of leading the charge, is also bequeathed a $1,500 check from these endowments in acknowledgement of the exceptional achievements that this award signifies. Grace, you may be buying lunch for your classmates later, but I ask you now to humbly step forward and accept this magnificent award. Grace, I present you with the school seal of the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude the 172nd Commencement exercises of Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science. Thank you all for attending. Graduates, make us proud.